Okay, everyone. I'm going to attempt to change out the ebrake boot on my 2016 WRX ebrake. So I have a couple of products here. I have the auto-styled Alacantra boot, and I'll be opening that up in a minute. I have this carbon fiber ebrake handle, and then sorry I'm framed out of the shot here, but I'm going to attempt to heat this up as per instructions in some other videos that I watched to get this ebrake handle off because it's glued in. I got this heat gun from Harbor Freight for must have been $15 about 6 years ago. Okay, quick update. Didn't take very long. The phone fell, so I cut the video, but I used the heat gun gently on it for a bit, and looks like it's coming right off. There she is. Okay, so I'm on the other side of the car now. So I have to get the ebrake button off, and I decided to do a poor man's way of trying to protect it from damage and use some masking tape. And I don't have a lot of tools, so I have these pair of pliers, and I'm just going to try to gently unscrew it to see if I can avoid damaging it, just in case I need to put it back to stock for any reason. But I already kind of broke it loose. It doesn't really seem like it was on super tight to begin with, and at this point I'm just getting it off with my finger. Giggity. Okay, so I've pretty much got this all the way loose and off, and let's see what kind of damage I did with the makeshift poor man's way of protecting this little stock button. So, this thing is kind of ate up, so my little method did not work very well. But be that as it may, it doesn't matter, because odds are it will never go back on the car anyway. Unless one day 2016 WRXs become super rare and super valuable in its pure stock form, in which case I'll be scouring the internet and junkyards for a unblemished stock ebrake button. But as you can tell, it's got some damage to it from the wrench, but nothing overwhelming. Here's the ebrake boot. I actually have it partially popped off already. In the videos that I watched, people would reach down into the crack here and pop them free, but I just could not get it loose. I'm sure you can if you're a little more patient with it. So, but my ebrake boot is already cracked. The plastic's already cracked right here. So I was able to pull up on it like so, and it just kind of popped these three levers out. And then from there, I went in here, and you can, to some extent, see where, right there, that little clip comes out. So once you get that one clip out, the rest of it kind of pops out. So you can see from the back side, it's got these little clips. All right, so this is the OEM piece. I actually bought a brand new Subaru boot assembly for the ebrake. Still got the Subaru logo on the sticker and everything. And the main reason I did that is because I wanted this plastic piece to be nice and put together, because my current one is broken in two places. Probably where it handles the most, like almost like a chain, like the weakest part of it breaks. So it broke here, and then as you pull back on the ebrake, sometimes I pull back a little hard, it put stress on this plastic piece and it broke like this. Because effectively what I'm going to be doing is pulling this brand new piece apart and putting our auto-styled cover on it with a little bit of glue. Alright, so I used a heat gun. This glue is actually on there pretty strong, and but it's starting to peel back. I guess I could just rip it off. I probably will never reapply this factory boot cover, but I figured maybe if I could save it, or just be in general gentle with the plastic so it doesn't stress it out. So when I put the new boot cover on, it'll last a long time. So I managed to get this off and actually in one piece. So I don't think I'll ever use this again, but it's there and it's not ripped. Honestly, if I had to put the stock one back on for any reason, I don't know why, I'd probably just buy a new OEM one and just install it, because it's very difficult to replicate items that come from the factory. So we have our auto styled 2015 Plus WRX/STI black micro suede ebrake boot with red stitching. So Alacantra, people call it that. I think Alacantra is like a brand name. So micro suede is what we call it. So we're gonna get this open. Ooh. All right. So a really nice material compared to the stock material. So this is the stock material. If you have a WRX from 16, I don't know what the new ones are like, but the stock material is like a fake leather, like a pleather almost. I mean, it's a strong material, and this is just a micro suede material. If you ever sat on a micro suede couch, this is basically what it feels like. Okay, so I went with Gorilla Spray adhesive, and we're just gonna spray an even coat along the top here and then also along the back. Basically where all the adhesive used to be before I ripped off the stock ebrake boot. And the directions say we're gonna let it dry for 1 to 3 minutes, and then we're gonna put the boot on. And we have about 10 minutes at that point before the bond becomes permanent. So that gives us a little bit of a window to get the boot on and to squeeze all the tabs and make sure that it goes squared away. The smell is quite strong. I'm going to try to put this sucker on as best we can without touching the outside of it as best we can. Right, so we have basically got everything in position. It's all glued. I think we did a pretty good job of not getting the adhesive on the outside of the boot. And we're just gonna let it sit for 10 minutes like this. According to the can, that's how long it takes before it's a permanent bond. This thing's on there pretty good. It's a nice material. I'm pretty pleased with it. Let's install it and see how it looks. Oh, I heard the click. All right. This baby's on. Look at that. Oh, that's nice too. So this is a micro suede. The shifter boot is stock. It's the same material as the ebrake boot, but it has the red stitching and I'm not unsatisfied with it, so I'm just gonna leave it. So now we're gonna install this, which is just a carbon fiber style, could be real carbon fiber, I'm not totally sure. E-brake boot that I got on one of the big Subaru part stores online. Looks like there's some. It's facing the right direction. Hopefully it's clicked in as it should be. Be very careful not to lose any of these bad boys. You want to zoom in. So it basically comes with these parts. And the world's tiniest Allen wrench. So what I think needs to happen is there's 3 holes. There's 2 on each side and 1 on the top. And these need to go into these. Oh, just with the 1, it's on pretty secure. So we're going to go ahead and put the other 2 in. So here's our button. I don't even know what brand it is. It's a blue button I bought on a Subaru Focus parts website. Definitely wasn't the most expensive one, but it should be a nice upgrade over the stock button. So I was hoping for a match here based on the shifter that I bought, but it is not the same color blue, unfortunately. And it should just screw right in, according to several videos that I've watched. Alright, so, and there's the finished product. So the car's in gear. Yeah, car's in gear. So I'm going to put it down and see if the e-brake releases, hopefully. And there she is. Okay, my lovely cameraman pointed out to me. So we played with the button, and if you twist it all the way in, you get like a jingly sound when you open it up. If you unscrew it, like a touch, it goes away. So, we put the stock one back on to see for comparison, and it was quiet as a mouse. If you look at the aftermarket one, if you pull it out compared to the stock one, the aftermarket one seems to be bigger. So my guess is when it's screwed all the way in, it compresses the spring more, and just creates friction in there somewhere. So, as they say, there's no parts like OEM parts. That being said, I'm going to run this for a while as is, not torqued down all the way, but it is a little bit loose, but it doesn't affect the use of it at all. Now, if we get going down the road and it starts wobbling and jiggling, then I might just go back to the stock button, or I might try to find another replacement. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the setup. The boot looks nice. It seems to be staying where it should, and the handle itself is really nice. And yeah, so here we are, and I'll post any updates if any of this goes awry or something goes wrong with it later on.